Before you decide this story is impossible, ask yourself one question. What would you do if the people you trusted most had been lying to you since the day you were born? I never imagined that one forgotten letter hidden inside an old wooden box would destroy my entire identity. But that's exactly what happened. My name is Ava Carter, and until 3 weeks before my wedding, I believed I had the perfect life. I had a successful career, a loving fiancé named Ethan, and parents who always claimed they would do anything to protect me. At least that's what I thought. Everything changed on a quiet Sunday afternoon when I returned home earlier than expected. My parents didn't hear me come inside because they were arguing in the kitchen. I wasn't trying to listen, but then I heard my mother whisper something that made me freeze where I stood. She can never find out the truth. My father's voice was calm, almost emotionless. She won't. After the wedding, it won't matter anymore. My heart started beating faster. I stepped closer without making a sound. My mother sighed. What if she refuses to sign the papers? My father laughed softly. She trusts Ethan more than anyone. She'll sign every document without reading a single page. My entire body went numb. Why would I be signing documents? What papers were they talking about? Then I heard Ethan's voice. My own fiancé was standing there with them. I've waited 5 years for this, he said. Once everything is transferred, she'll never know what happened. My hands began shaking so badly. I almost dropped my purse. The man I was about to marry wasn't talking about our future. He was talking about a plan. I quietly stepped away before anyone noticed me and locked myself inside my bedroom. My phone buzzed almost immediately. It was a message from Ethan. I miss you already. I can't wait to marry you. I stared at the screen for several seconds before putting the phone face down. His words no longer sounded loving. They sounded rehearsed. That night I couldn't sleep. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, I remembered an old wooden box my grandmother had given me years ago. She had smiled and said, "Open this only when you feel something isn't right." At the time, I thought she was joking. I pulled the dusty box from the back of my closet and slowly lifted the lid. Inside was a faded photograph, an old silver key, and a sealed envelope with my name written across the front. My hands trembled as I opened it. The first sentence made my blood run cold. Ava, the people who raised you are not the people you should fear. Be afraid of the person you're about to marry. I couldn't stop staring at the letter. Every word felt heavier than the last. My grandmother had never been the kind of person to exaggerate, and if she had hidden this message for so many years, she must have had a reason. I unfolded the second page and found another handwritten note. Don't confront your parents. Don't confront Ethan. Someone inside this family has been watching your every move for years. My heart pounded as I looked around my room. For the first time, it didn't feel like my home anymore. It felt like a place full of secrets. Suddenly, my phone rang. The caller ID showed Ethan's name. I took a deep breath before answering. "Hey, where are you?" he asked cheerfully. "I stopped by your house, but your parents said you weren't feeling well." His voice sounded warm, but now every word felt carefully planned. "Yeah, I'm just tired," I replied. "I'll call you tomorrow." He paused for a moment before saying, "Don't stay out too late. Big day coming soon." After the call ended, I noticed something strange. My bedroom door, which I knew I had locked, was slightly open. I slowly walked toward it. Nobody was there, but on the floor just outside my room lay a small white envelope. I picked it up with trembling hands. Inside was an old newspaper clipping dated 23 years earlier. The headline read, "Local couple dies in mysterious highway crash. Infant daughter missing." I felt my stomach tighten. Someone had circled the words, "Infant daughter missing" in red ink. Beneath the article, another sentence had been written by hand. "That baby was you." I stepped backward until my legs hit the bed. My breathing became shallow. It couldn't be true. My parents had always told me stories about my childhood. They had shown me photographs, birthday videos, family vacations. Had all of it been a lie? Before I could think any further, my laptop suddenly turned on by itself. The screen lit up with a single message. "Check the silver key." I grabbed the key from the wooden box and looked at it closely. Tiny numbers were engraved along one side. They weren't random. They looked exactly like the number on a bank safe deposit box. Before I could hide everything, I heard footsteps coming down the hallway. My father's voice echoed outside my bedroom door. "Ava, why is your bedroom locked?" I held my breath as the doorknob slowly began to turn. Then my phone vibrated one more time. An unknown number had sent only 6 words. "Whatever happens, don't let him inside." My father's hand stopped on the doorknob for a few seconds before he knocked again. "Ava, open the door," he said calmly. "We need to talk." I looked around my room, desperately searching for somewhere to hide the letter, the newspaper clipping, and the silver key. My heart was beating so loudly I was sure he could hear it through the door. I slipped everything inside my backpack just as he knocked a second time. "Are you okay?" he asked. I unlocked the door just enough to peek outside. He smiled, but something about his expression felt different. It wasn't the smile of a loving father. It was the smile of someone trying to make sure everything was still under control. "You've been in your room for hours," he said. "Your mother is worried." I forced a smile. "I'm just tired." He studied my face for several seconds before quietly asking, "You haven't been looking through your grandmother's old things, have you?" My blood ran cold. I tried not to react. "No, why would I?" He smiled again, but this time his eyes never smiled with him. "No reason. Get some sleep." As soon as he walked away, I locked the door again and grabbed the silver key. Early the next morning, I drove to the address printed on the newspaper clipping. It led me to a small private bank on the other side of town. Inside, an elderly manager looked at the key and immediately became serious. "Please follow me," he whispered. He led me into a secure vault and stopped in front of a deposit box marked with the exact number engraved on my key. My hands trembled as I unlocked it. Inside was a thick envelope, several photographs, a flash drive, and a birth certificate. I unfolded the birth certificate and felt the world collapse beneath me. The names listed under mother and father were not the names of the people who had raised me. They belonged to two strangers. Before I could process what I was seeing, I picked up one of the photographs. It showed a young couple holding a baby wrapped in a pink blanket. On the back, someone had written, "Our beautiful daughter, Ava, we'll always find our way back to you." Tears filled my eyes. If these were my real parents, then who were the people I had called mom and dad for 23 years? Suddenly, the bank manager rushed back into the room looking terrified. "Miss Carter," he whispered urgently, "you need to leave right now. Two people are outside asking if anyone has opened this deposit box today. And one of them says he's your fiancé, Ethan." I quickly grabbed the envelope, the photographs, the flash drive, and the birth certificate before closing the deposit box. My hands were shaking so badly that I almost dropped the key. "Is there another exit?" I whispered. The bank manager nodded without hesitation. "Follow me and don't look back." He led me through a narrow hallway that opened into a small parking garage behind the building. Just before I stepped outside, he pressed a business card into my hand. "If you want the truth," he said quietly, "go to this address before sunset. After today, I may not be able to help you again." I thanked him and hurried to my car. As I pulled onto the road, I checked my rearview mirror and immediately saw Ethan's black SUV leaving the front of the bank. He hadn't seen me yet. I drove through side streets, making random turns until I was sure no one was following me. Finally, I stopped in an empty parking lot and plugged the flash drive into my laptop. There was only one video file. I clicked play. The screen faded in, revealing my grandmother, sitting in the same living room where she used to read me bedtime stories. She looked older and weaker than I remembered, but her voice was steady. "Ava, if you're watching this, it means I wasn't able to protect you any longer. Your real parents never abandoned you. They were murdered because they discovered a financial network that stole millions from innocent families. Before they died, they entrusted you to my closest friend. But greed changed everything. The couple who raised you accepted money to keep your identity hidden. They were supposed to protect you. Instead, they became part of the plan." Tears streamed down my face as I listened. Every childhood memory suddenly felt different. Every birthday, every family photo, every hug had been built on a lie. My grandmother continued, "The most dangerous person isn't your father, and it isn't your mother. It's Ethan. He didn't fall in love with you by chance. He was chosen years ago to marry you, because only your signature can unlock the inheritance your real parents left behind." Covered my mouth in shock. My engagement, my relationship, every promise Ethan had ever made was part of a plan. Before the video ended, my grandmother looked directly into the camera. "There is one person you can still trust. His name is Daniel Brooks. He's the detective who investigated your parents' case. Find him before Ethan finds you." The screen went black. At that exact moment, another car pulled into the parking lot. I looked up and froze. It wasn't Ethan, it was my mother. She stepped out alone with tears running down her face, raised both hands to show she wasn't carrying anything, and quietly said, "Ava, please don't drive away. I've been waiting 23 years to tell you the truth." My foot hovered over the accelerator, but something in my mother's face made me stop. She wasn't pretending anymore. The confident woman I had known all my life was gone. She looked exhausted, frightened, and completely broken. I lowered the window just enough to hear her. "You have exactly 5 minutes before Ethan gets here," she said. "After that, neither of us will be safe." I stared at her without saying a word. "Why should I believe anything you say?" I asked. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Because I've spent 23 years regretting the biggest mistake of my life." She slowly reached into her coat pocket and placed a small gold locket on the hood of my car. Your real mother gave me this the night she asked me to protect you. My hands trembled as I picked it up. Inside the locket were 2 tiny photographs. One showed a young couple holding a newborn baby. The other showed that same baby wearing the exact silver bracelet I had kept since childhood. My heart stopped. She wanted you to have this when you turned 18, my mother whispered. But your father refused. By then, greed had already changed. Him. I looked into her eyes for the first time and realized she wasn't asking for forgiveness. She was asking for one chance to tell the truth. Who killed my real parents? I asked quietly. She closed her eyes before answering. It wasn't one person. It was an organization. Your father joined them because they promised him wealth. Ethan's family worked for them long before you were born. Your engagement wasn't fate. It was planned. Before I could ask another question, my phone rang. The screen displayed an unknown number. I answered immediately. A calm male voice said, "Miss Carter, this is Detective Daniel Brooks. Don't trust anyone standing beside your car. They're watching both of you through a drone. Drive to the old lighthouse immediately. I'll explain everything there." The call ended before I could reply. At that exact moment, a loud explosion echoed from the bank behind us. People began screaming as smoke filled the air. My mother grabbed my arm. "They're destroying the evidence," she cried. "Go now." I looked at her one last time before starting the engine. As I drove toward the highway, I checked my mirror and saw 3 black SUVs racing out of the smoke directly behind me. The chase had begun. 15 minutes later, I reached the abandoned lighthouse overlooking the ocean. Detective Brooks was already waiting beside an old police vehicle. He held a thick case file in one hand and looked straight at me. "Ava," he said, "everything you've learned so far is only half the truth." He opened the file and placed one photograph in front of me. I felt the blood drain from my face. Standing beside my real parents, smiling directly at the camera, was me, not as a baby. As a 10-year-old child, I looked up at the detective in complete shock. "That's impossible," I whispered. He slowly shook his head. "No, Ava. The impossible part is that you already knew your real parents once, and someone erased every memory you had of them. If this story kept you hooked until the very end, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more emotional suspense stories every week. Should we continue this story in episode 2? Or would you like a completely new emotional mystery? Let us know in the comments.